You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key in Noonan, Georgia, home of Braves Country with Mac Magee and the Armchair Quarterbacks, weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on The Key and YouTube.com at Braves Country. Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today. Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Hey, Braves fans, I'm Mac Magee with Braves Country. We'll be right here on The Key all year long, giving you Braves Country baseball, pitch by pitch, inning by inning of your Atlanta Braves. Make sure to catch Braves Country right here on The Key. We go live 3 to 5, and we'll keep you up to date on the upcoming schedule for Braves Country. That's Braves Country HD and Braves Country baseball right here on The Key. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there, These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Nash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Hey, Braves Country! Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball all year long. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. We'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch, inning-by-inning of your Atlanta Braves. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Please like and subscribe to youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought If only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Though somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today. Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Hey, Braves Country. Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Magee, and we'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch of your Atlanta Braves. It's free to listen. Please like and subscribe. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Braves Country Baseball for the fans, by the fans.
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, Braves Country. It is about that time. It's TGI Friday. I hope y'all are having one hell of a Friday as we get ready. The Atlanta Braves are going to Kansas City to take on the Royals, and you can't take that lightly at all. I know it's really easy as a fan to take that lightly going into a game, into a series, because the Royals have not been what they were just a few short years ago when they were winning World Series and they were winning the AL pennant a couple of times. But you still got to win the games in front of you, and they become very crucial, I think, because you're talking about playing the Royals this weekend. Well, next weekend, we have to play the defending World Series champion Houston Astros. And in between that, we're going to be facing the Padres, who just kicked our butt up and down the field in Truist Park. We're going to be in San Diego next, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it would be nice to go out there and bare minimum, I want to see a series win. It would be great to get a sweep. It's so difficult to bank on that. And so we get ready for game number 1, and Vaughn Grissom is going to be rejoining the team. The Atlanta Braves announced this afternoon that Grissom, his contract was re-upped, repurchased, and he will be joining the Atlanta Braves this evening, and be interesting to see. Now, from what I have understand and what I've read, he's had a pretty good spring down there in AAA. He's actually had more walks than he's had strikeouts. That's offensively. What I haven't gotten is a lot of individual breakdowns on whether or not his defense has improved. And I guess we're just going to see that as we go along, right? You can't really expect anything else. I know he struggled in the spring with his defense. I can't imagine that it became leaps and bounds better in 2 weeks. But I think what the Braves would love is to have a guy out there who's not going to lose them the game defensively. And look, if you have to, if you feel like he's some kind of a liability, then you can do what I call Ozuna him and pull him for defensive purposes late in the game. Because the thing about Adrianza is that he can pick it, but he can't hit his weight. And Adrian's a really skinny kid. So the answer is not to have Adrian's out there every day. You're going to have to either give it Grissom and let him take this opportunity to run with it, or maybe Shootmate comes up later. But I'm hoping Grissom can run with it. And look, everyone thinks it's this easy thing to just transition. Well, just teach them how to play shortstop. It's not that easy. And not to mention the fact you're talking about one of, if not the most difficult position to play in all of sports. And there's no longer the shift. So you're no longer just camping out over there and waiting for a ball to get dribbled to you. Shortstop now, or is what the shortstop had been for well over 100 years, till about 4 or 5 years ago when everyone started overshifting. The shortstop is going back to what it was, which is a guy that has to have range. And the biggest thing I saw in spring training with his defense, I don't worry about him making the spectacular play. I'm not expecting Ozzie Smith. I'm not expecting Dansby Swanson, who was phenomenal defense. I'm not expecting Orlando Arcia, who's pretty darn good in his own right. You just don't want to see a liability out there. Orlando Arcia heads to the IL, and we hate to see that. they're calling it a microfracture. Whether that, we'll get a better timeline as this moves on. Microfracture could mean a bunch of things. He was put on the 10-day IL. But we'll see what the overall game plan is. The hope for Braves country, I think, is that Grissom plays phenomenally. Arcia comes back pretty quickly. And it's Adrianza who's out of a job. But any way you look at it, they're going to try to piece it together at the shortstop position until it can get figured out. And tonight, you got Charlie Morton going for the Atlanta Braves. And you got a tough customer in Brady Singer going for the Kansas City Royals. And though the Braves are a slight favorite, I believe minus 125 on the win line is the last one that I saw. Though they're favored in Kansas City, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. That's just the betting public and their perception that the Braves are much better than the Royals. And top to bottom, we are. Top to bottom, we played the Kansas City Royals 7-game series. You expect to win it. But any given night, and you don't want to give away any of these games. Charlie Morton's got to clean some things up. He's pitched 10 innings. He's got a 4.35 ERA. That's not as concerning as the 1.94 whip. To give you an indication, if you're not familiar with what whip is, walks plus hit divided by innings pitch, what's looked upon as phenomenal is anywhere around a 1. He's close to 2, so you're talking about twice that. Now, average would be around 115-ish, 120-ish, maybe even into the 130. But once you start creeping into the 1.4, 1.5 range, it becomes a concern, and we're talking about Charlie Morton at 1.94. His strikeout rate is down a little bit. He's got 10 innings pitched. He's only got 7 strikeouts. But the biggest concern of any of this, 5 walks. 5 walks. Now he's given up the 15 hits. So you can see there where he's had 20 honest base runners, as I call them, by hit or by walk in 10 innings, 10.1 innings, which is why the whip is just below 2, because it's 10.1 innings and not. If it was 10 innings, we'd be sitting here with a clean 2. Brady Singer, he's sitting there with 11 innings pitched, a 1.18 whip. He's averaging just under a hit an inning. He's only given up 3 walks in his 11 innings pitched. He has given up a home run. Charlie Morton has given up a home run. Their ERAs, Charlie Morton does have a little slider, lower ERA at 4.35 to Singer's 4.91. But all in all, and look, this beginning of the year, so I'm not going to sit here and kill Charlie Morton for having a slow start, just like you don't overlook the fact that Brady Singer's got good stuff and he's had a couple of tough starts. But this is where the veteran Morton, in a park that is, it plays about middle of the road. I wouldn't consider Kansas City Park a hitter or pitcher friendly park per se. It really depends on if the wind's blowing out. But this is a Kansas City Royals lineup that, let's be honest, lacks a lot of pop. Some of their better players, I was looking it up today, like Melendez, who everyone's very high on, he's batting 190 right now. So when you're looking at that, the kid that you're most worried about in this entire lineup would be Bobby Witt Jr. Shortstop, he can play some third base. Bobby Witt Jr., though, he's only started the season out at batting 229 in 2 home runs, 6 RBI. He's got legitimate pop, and he's also a kid that Kansas City plans on building around for a long period of time. A guy who's been hitting for quite some time. He was a part of those championship teams behind the plate, Salvador Perez. He's a guy that you got to worry about. Now, he's not as athletic as he used to be, so a little slow on the base paths, but he can still put it over the fence. So if there's 3 batters that you want to focus on tonight, for me, it's Perez, Witt, and Melendez. but someone who everyone's very high on. He's off to a pretty good start. He's batting 293, 2 home runs, 4 RBI. I just haven't seen him play much. I've seen the other guys play quite a bit. Their first baseman, Pascantino, that's where the bread is buttered in Kansas City. It's at top 4 in the lineup. After that, it gets a little dicey. So they don't have a real long lineup like the Atlanta Braves do. That's why I do expect us to win tonight. But Morton's got to come out there and pitch well and not give up the free passes, because that's how you get in trouble. You give up free passes to a meek lineup. Let's just call it what it is. It's a meek lineup. And the next thing you know, there's 2 or 3 guys on when the Witts or the Perez's or the Pascantinos are up there and hacking away. The Braves, I believe, they should right now going into tonight's game. I believe the over was 5.5 runs. I like the Braves to score of that. I'm going to call it, we'll say Braves win it tonight 7-3. I like that number, 7-3. I think the Braves do get the win. All right, let's take a quick break. Step aside for a second. We're going to get your starting lineups and get you set for Braves versus Royals. Game 1, pitch by pitch, play by play. We'll have it right here. We're bringing you game 1 and game 2 tomorrow this weekend. Let's get ready, Braves country. Get yourself a cold one. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key in Noonan, Georgia.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have, and the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
A room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive, let's see it. 1 run is in. Here comes Braves. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win. Braves win.
You're in Braves country.
We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red there know through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball. Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. We are live, and the scene is Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Let's start with the visiting team, your Atlanta Braves. Will send to the plate, leading off and playing right field. Ronald Acuna Jr. batting .370 with 2 home runs. Matt Olson batting second and playing first base, hitting .295 and 4 home runs. Austin Riley batting third, playing third, batting .340 with 2 home runs, 7 RBI. Sean Murphy batting cleanup, 1 home run, batting .219. Eddie Rosario is your designated hitter, batting .229 with 1 home run, the game winner from just 2 nights ago. Ozzie Albies batting sixth and playing second base with 2 homers, 6 RBI, and batting .231. Vaughn Grissom is playing shortstop and batting seventh tonight as he comes up from AAA after the injury to Orlando Arcia. Kevin Pillar is your left fielder and batting 8th, and Sam Hilliard batting a crisp .333 with an RBI and 2 stolen base is your number 9 hitter patrolling center field. On the mound tonight, Charlie Morton, 1-1 on the year with a 4.35 ERA, 1.94 WHIP, 10 innings pitched and 7 strikeouts. For the hometown Kansas City Royals, the lineup looks like this. Melendez out in right field and batting .190. Bobby Witt Jr., 2 home runs, batting .229 and playing shortstop. Pascantino is the first baseman, 2 homers, batting .293 with 4 RBI. Salvador Perez is the cleanup hitter and behind the plate. He's batting .213 with 2 home runs. Isbell is the center fielder, batting .212 with 1 RBI and a stolen base. Olivares is the left fielder and batting .267. Massey, the number 7 hitter, and playing second. Frambo Reyes is the designated hitter with 2 home runs and batting 8th. And batting 9th, Lopez at third base, .208 with 4 RBI. Brady Singer is the starting pitcher tonight out of the University of Florida. He has a .491 ERA, a 1.18 WHIP, 1-0 on the season, 11 innings with 7 strikeouts. We're just about set here for Braves Country Baseball, bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play. Please like and subscribe, bringing you over 100 Braves baseball games this season and the entire playoff run. Grab yourself a cold one, pull up an armchair for Braves Country Baseball, Friday night edition from Kansas City, Missouri. How's everyone doing out there in Braves Country? Always good to see folks tuning in and hanging out with us here on a Friday night. Always curious where you're from, so if you get a chance, if you could drop in where in Braves Country you're at. We're Braves Country all over the world, as the Atlanta Braves are coming closer to game time. Braves will be wearing the gray jerseys top to bottom with the red lettering, excuse me, Atlanta across the chest, tomahawk underneath. The red numerals on the back with Navy for the names. Kansas City Royals are wearing home white pants and a dark blue jersey for the top, not their traditional light blue. I think it might be some kind of City Connect. It's got a white KC on the left chest as Brady Singer's taking his final warm-up pitches, number 51 in your book. Real quick, in the outfield for the Kansas City Royals, from left to right, it'll be Olivares, Isbell, and Melendez. Third baseman, Lopez. And around the horn, you go Lopez, Witt. The second baseman, Massey. And the first baseman, Pascantino. We're just about set. Perez is behind the plate, Singer on the mound. Ronald Acuna Jr. steps in with his .370 average. And it's baseball time in Braves country. The first pitch on the way fades inside for a ball. Good take by Ronnie, and it's 1-0. The 1-0 delivery from Singer is swung on. That ball is scorched into left field. It is down for a base hit. A leadoff single for your Atlanta Braves, and the hot bat of Ronald Acuna Jr. continues. Singer set a fastball belt high, and Acuna pulled it hard just past the shortstop, between the shortstop and the second base bag. So that'll bring Matt Olson to the plate from the left side. Big Matt Olson stares in and takes the first pitch and swing and fouls it straight back out of play. It's 0-1. Matt Olson batting .294, 4 bombs, 12 RBI. Ronald Acuna Jr. leading off, inching his way towards second. And here's a quick flip over to Acuna. That one was close. Tag applied on the wallet, but he got underneath it, and he's back on the first attempt to try to pick off Acuna. Acuna leading towards second again. The 0-1 pitch, fakes like he's going to go, and that ball is down below the knees. Did he go around? Didn't look like he did. And the third base umpire, Manny Gonzalez, said that he did, and it's 0-2. That did not look like a good call. Another offering over to Acuna over at first. So now Singer has gone to first base twice. If he goes again, he's either got to get him or it's a balk. The 0-2 to Olson. On the way and inside, taking high for a ball. 93 mile an hour just underneath the letters, and it's 1-2. Atlanta Braves come into tonight's action. 2 games in front of the New York Mets, first place in National League East. The 1-2 pitch swing and hits it down the line, going back against the wall, over the track, over the wall. That is a 2-run home run. Jackpot, baby. And he'll take the grand tour. That was an easy swing. Didn't think that ball was going to get out. I really didn't think it was going to stay fair. It's a pitch on the outer part of the plate, and Olson just guided it over the wall and just past the foul pole. Almost like a golf shot, shanking it down the left field line. So that'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. Austin Riley swings at the first pitch down below the knees, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 to Riley. Off the plate wide, it's 1-1. Brady Singer, formerly of the University of Florida, was teammates with A.J. Puck, who is now pitching for the Marlins. He is the closer. The 1-1 pitch down below the knees, 95 mile an hour sinker. It is 2-1. Braves 2, Royals nothing. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and grounded foul towards the third base dugout. Evens up the count at 2-2. Braves are in the third base dugout tonight as the visiting team. Kansas City over in first base dugout. The 2-2 pitch. Off the plate wide, it's 3-2. Talked about this before, but I found it interesting that I just always assumed that the home team was in the first base dugout like they do in Atlanta, but coming to find out that's only about 60% of the league that does that. The 3-2 pitch swung on, and that ball is belted high and deep. It's going back. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ramalama ding dong, a solo blast, and Austin Riley got all of that one. It went deep into the bullpen behind the left field wall, 385 feet. His 100th career home run, 99 miles an hour off the bat. And Brady Singer is on the ropes early. Braves lead at 3-0. Riley gets to the dugout and gets that big comical hat that they've been wearing this season as the home run celebration. First pitch on the way to Murphy's off the plate. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Murphy swung on and fouled straight back, evening up the count at 1-1. If you're just joining us, Braves lead at 3-0. Olsen and Riley both going back-to-back on home runs. Ronald Acuna Jr. led off with a single. The 1-1's down below the knees, and it is 2-1. 2-1 from Singer is just on the corner on the outer edge, evening up the count at 2-2. Sean Murphy batting .219, 1 home run, 6 RBI, an .842 OPS. Braves lead in the National League East, 2 over the Mets, 5 over the Phillies. The Phillies lead the Reds 5-1 in the 6th. The 2-2 pitch swung on and dragged foul towards the third base dugout, and we'll do it again. It's 2-2. The ex-Met Taijuan Walker on the hill for the Phillies tonight. The 2-2 pitch to Murphy. Off the plate wide, it is 3-2. So a full count. Brady Singer is at 18 pitches, has yet to record it out here on the top of the first. The 3-2 swung on and missed, strike out number 1. Murphy will go grab the seat. Good pitch on the outer edge, looked like the sinker. Outside part of the plate, about belt high, and just could not time it up. So Eddie Rosario will climb into the batter's box. The hero from Wednesday night's game as he hit the home run in the 8th inning, if you were tuning in. First pitch on the way to Rosario is inside in the dirt. Taken all the way, slider missing. It's 1-0. Rosario now batting .229 at .642 OPS, and that 1 home run, 1 RBI. It's going to be a bit of a delay. Think there is a issue with the Kansas City catcher, Salvador Perez, and maybe a contact in his eye. One of the trainers is coming out and giving him some assistance, some drops in his eye, and I believe he's good to go now. Don't know if something got in his eye or if it was a contact that just fell out. But it looks like we're back ready. The 1-0 pitch from Singer. Right there at the knees, below the knees, but called for a low strike. It's 1-1. Tonight's home plate umpire, Quinn Wilcock. The 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball is roasted down into the right field corner. It's going to get down and up against the wall. Rosario cruises around first and heads into second with a 1-out double. Braves still got something going here in the first. Looked like that might have been a sinker that just got way too much of the plate, about belt high, and Rosario yanked it all the way down the line. A little surprising that Kansas City's outfield, I see what they were doing. They were playing a shift where the left fielder had moved down, or maybe it was a center fielder had moved down over to where, if you remember where Riley used to play last year, is like a shallow right field, and then you had two outfielders splitting the gaps. So a lot of area to cover for the outfielder there. So they were playing Rosario to pull, just backfired on him on the game plan. First pitch on the way to Ozzie Albies off the plate wide. Sinker misses. It's 1-0. Singer looks back, Rosario at second. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Changeup. Pulled the string on that one. Atlanta 3, Kansas City nothing. Top of the first, one away. The 1-1 from Singer. Swinging a hard hit ground ball, but foul down the first base line. We'll do it again. It's 1-2. Later on tonight, the New York Mets are out in Oakland to take on the A's. They'll send Kodai Senga to the mound. A's will have James Caprillion. The 1-2 pitch from Singer inside. Ozzie has to dive out of the way. It's 2-2. If you're familiar with those two pitchers, Mets with a decided advantage tonight. So the Braves would really like to get this win to keep that lead at 2. I believe it was a minus 275 on the money line last time I looked out in Vegas. The 2-2 pitch swung on and banged foul down the first base line. It's 2-2. Brady Singer, by the way, 27 pitches. We're just 1 out in the first inning. There's also NBA play-in games going on. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on there. Miami leads the Bulls by 5 in the third quarter. Ozzie Albies had to get a new bat. I don't know if the last one cracked on him or what, but he went to go get a new bat, handed the old one to the bat boy. So that's what the delay is about. So Ozzie back in the box, open stance from the left side, righty-lefty matchup. Here's the windup in the pitch from Singer, and it swung on and fouled straight back, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Do it again at 2-2. Kansas City wearing their City Connect jerseys tonight. The 2-2 pitch inside, check swing. Did he go around? Does not look like that he did. We got a full count. Ozzie lost his balance on the check swing, had to sit down for a second. Got a good laugh out of that one. So a 3-2 count to Ozzie. Runner on first and swing and a miss, strike 3. Ozzie swung at one out of the zone, a slider down around the shoelaces, and there's 2 away. So that's going to bring up the much anticipated at bat of Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn Grissom, batting from the right side, batted 291 last year. He steps in, the first pitch on the way, and he swung on. That ball's hit hard down the right field line. It's going to get down. It's going to get into right field for a 2-out double, and the run will score. Vaughn Grissom leaps to his feet, gives the chop, and the Braves lead it 4-0. It's a sinker on the outside part of the plate that he shot down the right field line. The Royals infield was playing about halfway in, which was a little surprising. And they were playing him to pull. So when he shot that down the first base line, the only question was whether it would stay fair, and it did. So the first pitch on the way to Kevin Pillar is off the plate wide. Braves lead at 4-0. Pillar in there playing left field. Rosario, the designated hitter, no Ozuna tonight. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Slider just off the edge. It's 1-1. Kevin Pillar batting just 200 on the young season. 473 OPS. He does have an RBI. Has a chance to double that number if he can knock in Grissom. The 1-1 pitch, swung on, hit up the middle, backhanded by the second baseman. Massey's got it. He'll fire it over to first, and it's a 4-3 inning-ending out. But not before your Atlanta Braves put 4 runs on the board. We'll be back in the flash. It's 4-0 in the first.
Braves, wait a minute. Do you think you can get me a tape of the show?
What on earth for?
Well, how often do you get to hear your son on the radio?
I'm on the radio every day.
Because he's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks.
It could be like a government conspiracy, but it also could be something like, Bigfoot. What's your number one?
We never went to the moon. I don't believe it. I think it's a hoax.
All right.
They filmed it in a studio. Why didn't we ever go back?
All right, the crazies is coming out in us today. I'll see that and I'll raise you Area 51. I think there's little Martians and everything running around out there, and I think we're hiding something. We're hiding something out there. There's too many accounts of too many things that go wrong. And don't keep on telling me that it was a balloon that went by. The balloons aren't that big, okay? They don't go by that often. It's a little strange we haven't seen one in the last 30 years since technology's gotten better. There's been too many times where they've interviewed guys who were out there and they say, when they ask them, can you say what you've seen? And he goes, no, I'm sworn to secrecy. Well, why are you sworn to secrecy if nothing happened out there? Something went down.
Armchair.
I would put a committee together, get some coaches, get some players, and let's try to work this thing out. We can't ask these politicians nothing. Those people are awful people. They're all crooks.
On February 2nd, 1876, at Manhattan's Grand Central Hotel, a group of club owners, eager to tighten their control of the game, restore its respectability, and most of all to ensure greater profits, started a new association. They called it the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Charlie Morton is a fastball off the plate wide to Melendez, and it's 1-0. Morton comes in with the 1-1 record, 4.35 ERA. The 1-0 pitch right there at the knees, called for a strike. Nice curveball by Charlie. 1-1. MJ Melendez, a switch-hitting catcher outfielder. The 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled down the first base line underneath the glove of Olsen. Melendez gets on his horse, and he will pull into second base with the leadoff double for the Kansas City Royals. Good piece of hitting by Melendez. It was a changeup that just caught way too much of the plate, and he was able to yank it down the line. MJ Melendez, one of the higher rated prospects in baseball a couple of years ago. First pitch on the way to Bobby Witt. Speaking of a highly rated prospect, Bobby Witt Jr. takes the ball low for 1-0. Witt batting .229, 2 home runs. The 1-0 swung on and grounded over to Grissom. Grissom's got it. He had to double clutch. Not sure what happened there. And because of that, Witt is safe. Think he might have lost the handle for a second. Probably just nerves. And Witt was busting it down the line. I'm not really sure what in the world he was waiting on. Because as they show the replay, he just double clutched, not really sure why. So runners on first and second, nobody out. They're going to give a single to Witt. I don't know about that. I think that should have been an error. First pitch on the way to Pasquantino, another highly rated prospect from the Kansas City Royals. Right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, curveball inside, evens up the count at 1-1. That was definitely hometown cooking by the scorekeep because Witt should have been out. The 1-1 pitch swung on and grounded hard, but foul. It's 1-2. Bottom of the first. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. So we'll see if Morton can work his way around the leadoff double and then the blunder. The 1-2 pitch swung on and grounded hard right at the first base dugout. We'll do it again at 1-2. Kansas City Royal City Connect jerseys, they're dark blue with powder blue writing, and the K and C kind of intertwined and kind of drip down the jersey. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and fouls it back out of play. Do it again at 1-2. 97 miles an hour. So first and second, nobody out. The 1-2 pitch swung on and grounded foul again. Do it again at 1-2. You got speed on the base paths, but Pasquantino does not run as fast as the two that are on the paths. So if you can get a ground ball, you might get a double play. The 1-2 pitch down below the knees, taken for a ball. Curveball missing. It's 2-2. Fastball topping out at 97 miles an hour tonight for Morton. Curveball as low as 82. The 2-2 swung on and grounded hard right to Olsen. Olsen has it, fires it over to short, and it is a 1-6. That's an error. That throw went into the dugout by Grissom. So 2 plays to Grissom and 2 blunders, and it's 4-1. Kansas City scores. We will get the force out at second. Excuse me. Perfectly set up. Morton was over on first base, ready to get the ball. The ball sailed over his glove. The ball went into the dugout, so the runner goes to second. First pitch on the way is taken outside for a ball by Perez. It's 1-0. If the ball had not gone into the dugout, it would not have been an error because you can't assume the double play, but because they gained a base on the play, it will be a throwing error. 1-0 misses outside wide, 2-0. So 2 curveballs way outside to start off the at bat. Righty-righty matchup. The 2-0 pitch swung on and dribbled out in front. Murphy's got it. He'll fire it over to first. There's 2 away. Runner on second moves down to third. Braves lead at 4-1. Charlie Morton now just 1 out away. From getting out of this mess. First pitch on the way to Isbell. The center fielder is taken right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Not only does Arcia make that out, but the runner's not on first to begin with because though they gave Witt a single, that should have been an error itself. The 0-1 right there at the knees called for a strike. It's 0-2. Isbell, left-handed center fielder, has a lot of speed, batting .212. Here's the 0-2 curveball way off the plate wide. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Charlie. Right there at the knees, caught looking. He'll grab some pine, and we'll grab the bats. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
To prevent from taking down any future videos, we have decided to no longer shoot any video in which we say or do anything offensive. Here is our latest video.
How was school? I had an English test and got an A.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Good job, son.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, have you seen my dress shoes?
Where are you going now?
I'm going to church.
Praise Jesus.
Praise him every day.
Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today. Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Your favorite shot?
Favorite shot? I don't know. I had it last night. Lots of them. I think it's called the Picklehead, where it's a shot of Jameson with a little bit of pickle juice chaser. And it's the most wonderful and terrible thing I've ever had in my drinking life. Because once you take the shot and then you take the pickle juice, there's no burn. There's absolutely no burn, right? And then you're like, well, shoot, yeah, it's just Kool-Aid at that point. It could lead to very bad things. Trust me.
Armchair.
It is ridiculous to pay ball players $2,000 a year, especially when the $800 boys often do just as well.
William A. Hulbert, a ruthless coal magnate who owned the Chicago White Stockings, became the National League's president. He immediately took steps to revive the reputation of the professional game. Players were forbidden to drink on the field or off. No beer was to be served on the grounds, and no games were to be played on Sunday. Power was to be invested in the owners, not the players.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves lead at 4-1. The number 9 hitter leading off the second inning. Sam Hilliard takes the first pitch and slams it. And it's going high. It's going deep. It's going far. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Sam Hilliard with a solo blast, his first of the season. And I can't wait to see the numbers on this because he absolutely hammered that pitch. Sam Hilliard showing some pop, 448 feet, 110 miles an hour off the bat. And it's 5-1. Sam I can. Sam I am. Gets back that run. It's 5-1. First pitch on the way to Acuna is a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Acuna slider way outside. Good eye by Ronnie. 1-1. Ronald Acuna Jr. now hitting .382 after the single in the first. The 1-1 pitch swung on, and that ball is a worm burner up the middle. It's between the 4-6 hole, a diving attempt by the second baseman Massey, but to no avail, and it is a single with nobody out to get the rally going here in the top of the second. Braves already scored one off the solo shot. So that'll bring Matt Olson to the plate. Olson 1 for 1 with his home run. Braves have 3 so far. The first pitch is swung on and hammered down the right field line, but foul up against the netting, and it's 0-1. Matt Olson now hitting .308 on the year with 5 home runs, 14 RBI, and 1112 OPS. The 0-1 to Matty. Singer flips and deals, and just below the knees. Good eye. Good take by Olson. It's evens up the count at 1-1. Singer at 40 pitches already. The 1-1 pitch swung on and hit high and deep down the left field line. Think it'll stay in the park this time, or will it? It bounces off the wall, but just foul. Olsen looks confused. He's going to head back to home plate. Ball just went foul. They have the painted line down the left field wall. I don't know. That might have actually hit the... Trying to see the replay. That looked like that might have hit. So we'll see if they're going to take a look at that. The ball looks like... Yeah, that looks fair. So they are going to take a look at this. At first glance, it looked like the ball... So there's a rounded corner in the left field wall. On the left field wall, excuse me. And there's a line painted there just before the foul pole. And at first it looked like it might have hit the side and then kind of trickled down. And that's what the left fielder, Olivares, thought, because he didn't react to it. But instead, the ball appears to have hit the wall, hit the line, which means it would have been fair, and then bounced in, which means... Unless they have a weird ruling it, because every park is different, but that should be a ground rule double. And it would put runners on second and third, nobody out. The bad luck from that is the way the ball trickled away. If it would have been a live ball, Acuna would have scored with ease. I don't think Olsen would have gotten much farther than second. But you never know. So while they take a look at that real quick, we'll wait on the verdict. Shouldn't take long. Really looks like that is a fair ball. Look around the scoreboard real quick. Phillies lead the Reds 5-2 in the top of the 8th. Marlins all over the Diamondbacks 5-1. That game is in the 8th. Tigers over the Giants 4-1 in the 6th. Guardians and Nationals, Washington 3-1 in the 6th. Yankees over the Twins 3-2. That game is in the 7th. Rays trail 3-1. Breaking news: the 13-0 Rays trail 3-1. That game's in the 5th. So the ball is fair. It's being overturned. And he's saying runners on first and second. That's not right. That should be a ground rule double. So Snicker's out there giving him an earful. I think that's Manny Gonzalez, the third base umpire that he's talking to, not 100%. Snicker's furious, and he should be. The call comes from New York, so New York is the one that would have made that call. I think Snicker's about to get tossed. Gonzalez motioned like he was about to toss him. But the thing is, he's 100% right. He's 1,000% right. And Snicker's going back out there to talk to, I believe, he's in it with two of the umpires. I believe that's Adrian Johnson and Manny Gonzalez. But the whole thing makes zero sense because you never see a play like that and they say that it's a single. That is at least a double. And it's always a ground rule double. So a terrible call. I guess you would give and Snicker has been ejected. So once he got ejected, he said, to heck with it, I might as well give him an earful. You don't see that from Snicker very often. He rarely gets fired up enough for anything, much less get ejected. But he got ejected. Walt Weiss will take over. So first and second, nobody out, and the first pitch is on the way. It's about letter high to Austin Riley, and it's 0-1. It's an absolute disgrace that they called that a single. The ball went up against the wall. It's easily a double. The 0-1 pitch. Off the plate wide, it's 1-1. But if that's the call that came from New York, I don't know if the guys on the ground actually have the ability to overturn what was ruled. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, fastball, 92 mile an hour, right in his kitchen, couldn't catch up, and it's 1-2. It's actually kind of refreshing to see Snicker get tossed. I've missed those days of Bobby Cox, haven't you? The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed strike 3. Riley went fishing out of the zone, and there's one away. Braves 5, Royals 1. If you're just joining us, the Braves have scored with 3 home runs. Brian Snicker just got ejected for a terrible call that should have been a ground rule double. Instead, they gave Olsen a single. So that'll bring Murphy to the plate. Murphy's 0 for 1. The first pitch is off the plate, but a wide strike called by home plate umpire Quinn Walcott starts off the series at 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Singer, off the plate wide, slider missing, evens up the count at 1-1. Speaking of Springer, Jeff Springer for the Tampa Bay Rays, as the 1-1 pitch misses off the plate, it's 2-1. It's announced today that he'll miss about 2 months with an arm injury. Yohan Mikata was placed on the IL for the Chicago White Sox. Rays 13-0, trying to make it 14-0, would break the modern-day record as the 2-1 pitch is swung on, and that ball's hammered into left field. It's going to get down into the gap, up against the wall. Ronnie's going to score. Olsen's coming around, and he slides. He scores. It's 7-1, your Atlanta Braves. Sean Murphy with an RBI double that cleans up the mess that Blue created. Good piece of hitting by Murphy. We all know he's a dead pull hitter, and he just poked that one through the gap. So Murphy stands on second with 1 away. Braves lead at 7-1. And the first pitch on the way to Rosario is off the plate wide. It's 0-1. Slider slider hitting on the outer half, excuse me. The 0-1 to Rosario, who's 1 for 1, is just inside for a strike. Sinker that danced back in over the plate. Good pitch by Singer. And it's 0-2. Logan Webb signed a 5-year extension for the San Francisco Giants today. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Rosario's down on strikes. Logan Webb, the right-hander for the San Francisco Giants. Miami Heat lead the Chicago Bulls by 4. That game is in the 3rd. So that'll bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. Ozzie, open stance. The first pitch on the way is swung on and hammered down the right field line, but plenty foul into the camera well. It's 0-1. Braves scored 4 in the first, 3 here in the second. We got a runner on second with 2 away. Anything that gets down should score a run. The 0-1 to Ozzie. Right there, top shelf. Strike. And it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch to Ozzie. Swung on and missed strike 3. Chase it out of the zone, about letter high. And that'll end the inning. But not before Atlanta puts 3 more on the board. It's 7-1. We'll head to the bottom of the second.
Kind of fun and he's kind of fat. The all-American man.
My typical favorite shot, honestly, is just old Jack D. Well, ice cold Jack D. But if I'm going to pick like more of like a shooter, type of thing. It is the most dangerous one, and I no longer drink it. But man, a good Jaeger bomb.
I was about to say, it's probably got some Jägermeister.
But I'm going to tell you right now, do a Jaeger bomb nowadays, I'm probably going to end up in divorce court. So, I black out and not only just time travel, I travel. I wake up in other cities. So,
if I remember correctly, you used to like slap your face like Curly, and then you would just do this
yes.
shuffle step, and then it was gone after that.
Yes.
We went into plan M for McGee.
Yes.
All right, execute plan M. You know, Todd, you get the flanks. If anybody's taller than McGee, get him out now.
Oh, yes.
At least that's how I remember it.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember it. And that's kind of the point.
Checkmate.
Armchair.
To further solidify their control, the owners added a reserve clause to the contracts of the 5 best men on every team. It required that each play only for his current employer and reserved his services for the following year. At first, few complained. To be reserved was to be sure of a job for the coming season. Those who did complain that the reserve clause smacked of slavery, fired, then blacklisted. For the first time in the history of the game, players would serve the interests of the owners. For the next 100 years, the professional game would be dominated by those who owned the field and supplied the ball.
Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead at 7-1. We head to the bottom of the second. Charlie Morton will go back to work, and the first pitch is a fastball, top of the zone, called for a strike, 94 miles an hour, and it's 0-1 to Olivares. Olivares, righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 pitch swung on and grounded over to short. Grissom has it, fires it across the infield, and that time it was a picture-perfect throw for Vaughn. And there's one away. Hopefully the jitters are out of the way for Vaughn Grissom. Still learning the craft over there at short. Had a couple of gaffes in the first inning. Cost the Braves a run on one account. So here comes the number 7 hitter, Massey, from the left side, batting 131, and the first pitch is inside. Taken for a ball, it's 1-0. Massey swings at the second pitch, and it is a grounder right to Ozzie Albies. He'll pick it, flip it, and it's a 4-3 putout if you're scoring at home. Philly leads Cincinnati 5-2. Reds took game 1 of that series last night. Reds had a rookie going tonight on the mound. So that'll bring up Franmil Reyes to the plate. Reyes batting .214 from the right side. Takes the first pitch off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch swung on and hit into center, making an extension and a diving catch. Sam Hilliard lays out and ends the inning. What a great catch by Sam. So that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Sit sharp.
I'm not playing your stupid game.
You can't.
Hey, Braves Country. Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Hi, I'm Mac Magee, and we'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch of your Atlanta Braves. It's free to listen. Please like and subscribe. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Braves Country Baseball, for the fans, by the fans.
It's the best in sports and entertainment, and get locked in and locked down with Rhino Radio Penitentiary, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. with your host, me, Ryan O'Neal, each and every morning, right here with the best in sports and entertainment, all the way from professional sports to college sports to River Dragons hockey and everything in between, including some of the very best local and national guests. It's the Rhino Radio Penitentiary, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Fridays, right here on 99.1 FM WQEE.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead the Kansas City Royals 7-1. Came quick and often. Acuna is 2 for 2. Olsen's 2 for 2 with a home run. Austin Riley's got a home run. Vaughn Grissom got a base hit in his first time up. And Sam Hilliard has a home run. So we get set here to begin inning number 2, or the bottom of inning number 2. Vaughn Grissom, who's 1 for 1, will step up to the plate. Righty-righty matchup Singer back out there, and the first pitch is a sinker on the edge down below the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Vaughn Grissom hit a double in the first with an RBI. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That ball is hit right up the middle, but right at Massey, the second baseman, had him played over in a shift. Just to the right of the second base bag was the second baseman where he was standing. So a hard hit ball, what looked like a good swing, but an atom ball, and there's one away. That'll bring Pilar to the plate, and the first pitch to Pilar is a 93-mile-an-hour sinker on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Pilar 0 for 1 with the ground out in the first. The 0-1 pitch to Pilar swung on and grounded over towards short. Witt's got it. He'll fire it over to first. And it's a 6-3 put out, quickly 2 away. 2 up, 2 down. And Sam Hilliard, who had a home run his first time up, comes to the plate. His first home run of the year. Got out in a hurry, 448 feet. First pitch on the way is a sinker at the top of the zone, outer edge. It's 0-1. Hilliard now batting .364, the 0-1 pitch. About waist high over the plate. It's 0-2. Braves 7, Royals 1, top of the third inning. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down, but your Braves lead at 7-1. We'll be back in a flash.
Can you keep a secret?
Of course I can.
I lost all our money today betting on sports.
Damn.
I know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure, yeah.
I lied. I can't keep secrets.
Wait, what?
Armchair.
Braves Country HD, covering America's pastime from spring training all the way to the Fall Classic.
5-2 Dodgers in the ninth. Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets, it's the impossible dream revisited.
And Myers bringing it. And the pitch is hit in the air. Foul off first. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0 10-inning victory. Left field, way back. Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Tony Gwynn is regarded by some as the best pure hitter ever. But did you know that he was also a star basketball player? In fact, in 1981, Gwynn was drafted by both the Padres and the Clippers on the same day, but he ended up choosing baseball. Walter Johnson pitched for the Washington Senators for over 20 years in the early 1900s and has the most WAR of any pitcher.
Van Johnson,
never missed an opportunity to make a speech. It was always the same speech, all about how he, single-handed and alone, had made baseball a gentleman's sport, and it must be kept forever clean because sportsmanship spoke from the heart of America, and he would lay down his life to save our beloved nation, at which he would begin to cry.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch on the way from Charlie Morton is a called strike on the inner cut. It's 0-1. Lopez, the number 9 hitter from the left side, the 0-1 pitch. Right there at the knees. Good curveball by Charlie. Hell of an Uncle Charlie, and it's 0-2. Lopez questioned it, thought it was a little low. Looks like it clipped it. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Curveball that dove in just off the plate. And Lopez is retired on 3 pitches. So that'll give you one time through the order as we are sitting here with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Melendez comes to the plate and he takes a big hack at the first pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch misses off the plate wide. Curveball evens up the count at 1-1. Melendez 1 for 1 with the double in the first and a run scored. The 1-1 swung on and grounded up the middle and booted by Grissom. So that's going to be another error on Grissom. Melendez be safe at first. It's an easy grounder that should have been a scoop and a flip, and instead, I think Grissom might be in his own head because that ball should have been made. So that'll bring Witt back to the plate, and the first pitch from Witt is swung on, and the ball's going to find him. Baltimore chopper, and Grissom charges it, fires it over to first, but Witt's speed is going to beat that out with plenty to spare. And there's runners on first and second with 1 away. I mean, when things are going bad, that ball is going to find you. No chance for Grissom to actually get Witt on that play, but it's just ironic that it would come right back to him. So runners on first and second with 1 away, and Pasquantino comes to the plate. First pitch to the big left-handed power hitting first baseman is a swing and a foul down the line. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Charlie, right there down below the knees, taken all the way. It's 1-1. Chicago leads Miami by 6 with 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter in the play-in game. Those two teams playing for the right to go to the playoffs and take on the Milwaukee Bucks, the 1 seed. The 1-1 pitch, swing and fouls it down the line. It's 1-2. Runners on first and second, 1 out. The 1-2 from Wharton. Inside. Good backhanded stab by Murphy. And the count is even at 2-2. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Well off the plate. Pasquantino asked for a timeout. Now he's set. 3-2 pitch. I'm sorry, 2-2 pitch down below the knees. It's now 3-2. Scoreboard operator had changed. I thought it sounded weird but anyways, it is now 3-2. The 3-2 down in the dirt. Ball 4, curveball, skipped about 2 inches in front of his back foot. The bases are now loaded for the guy that you don't want the bases loaded for in Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez with 2 home runs already on the year. 6 RBI. Not a fast runner, so he could be double off if you get him on the ground. First pitch to Perez is a swing and a miss. Went fishing for the curveball out of the zone. It's 0-1. Braves 7, Royals 1. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Same pitch, same result. 2 curveballs off the plate, and Perez went diving out of the zone for both of them. Will Charlie throw it again? You got an 0-2 count, bases loaded. Here's the pitch he does, but this time Perez takes it all the way. It's 1-2. Salvador Perez, in 70 at-bats with the bases loaded, has a 300 average with 5 grand slams in his career. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and hits it high, but not very deep. Underneath it is Acuna. He's charging. He'll fire it towards home, and Melendez will slam on the brakes and stay at third with the Royals trailing by 6. The ball actually got away from Murphy. He stayed in front of it. So if Melendez would have challenged it, he would have scored. The Royals playing it safe with Acuna's arm. So that'll bring the center fielder Isbell up to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 away. Righty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Good pitch by Morton. Curveball on the outer edge, about knee high. The 0-1 pitch to Charlie. Swung on and grounded back up the middle, right to Grissom. Grissom makes a great stab, slides, jumps up, flips it to first, and that'll end the inning. So Vaughn Grissom makes a good defensive play to make up for the gaffe. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I just realized, if they get divorced and live in 2 separate places, that's twice as many visits. Imagine if I had to see them both on the same day. It's like running a double marathon.
That's the beauty of baseball. There's no time limit. You have to let the other guy have an opportunity. It's not basketball. We can run the clock out and pass it around, foul each other for the last 3 minutes of the game. We're not running the ball up the middle or taking a knee like it is in football. You have to face your opponent. Your opponent has every opportunity down to the very last pitch of the game to win a game. That's the beauty of baseball. That's why I love baseball the way I do. The DH, I'm an American League guy. You know that. I love the DH. I understand the league people wouldn't want it, and I don't think they should do it in both leagues. Keep it the way it is. What's wrong with the DH?
Yeah, because if you put the DH in the National League, the American League would never win another World Series. It would make it an even playing field.
I don't think that's exactly how it would play out.
Armchair.
Now, for me, I wasn't good enough to guess pitches. I looked for one pitch, every at bat, every pitch, fastball right down the middle. Yeah. That's it. As soon as I saw it, I would swing. So I'd look fastball down the middle, every single pitch, and my approach was to stay to right center field.
One afternoon on the Brooklyn waterfront, a boy named William Cummings, known to his friends as Candy, noticed that he could make a clamshell curve when he hurled it through the air, and began to wonder if he might be able to do the same thing one day with a baseball. In April 1867, now pitching for the Brooklyn Excelsiors, Candy Cummings tried out his new pitch. Though it was outlawed, everyone started throwing the curveball. Purists were appalled.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. is down below the knees for a ball. He starts out his third at bat, 1-0. Acuna 2 for 2 on the night. The 1-0 swung on and grounded foul, evening up the count at 1-1. Acuna 2 for 2. With a run, 2 runs scored. 2 singles. The 1-1 pitch from Singer Swung on, and that ball is hammered over to short, but on it is Witt. He'll flip it over to first. It's the first out of the fourth inning. Good defensive play by Bobby Witt Jr. Atlanta 7, Kansas City 1. Phillies lead the Reds 6-2. The first pitch on the way to Olsen is fouled back against the screen. It's 0-1. New York Metropolitans, they will play tonight. Later on, as the 0-1 pitch is in the dirt, it's 1-1. Mets and the A's get going at 9:40 tonight. Kodai Senga on the mound. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike two, it's 1-2. Braves will see Kodai Senga in the New York Mets at the end of April. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, called for a generous inside strike. Called for a caught looking backwards K. There's 2 away. Olsen did not like that one. I can't blame him. That one was off the plate. Philly's just taking an 8-2 lead. Looks like Alec Boehm just drove in 2. First pitch on the way to Riley is off the edge for a strike. At the knees, it's 0-1. The 0-1 to Riley. Outer edge, tried to frame it, but couldn't bring it back in. It's 1-1. Austin Riley 1 for 2 with a solo shot, batting .347 with 3 home runs. The 1-1 pitch, swing, and fouls it down the line. So a 1-2 count to Riley. Here's the windup in the pitch off the plate, and ball 2, 2-2. The 2-2 from Singer. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Riley slams down his bat and his glove. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, the middle of the order, due up for the Royals.
Yo, let me ask you a question. Where do you guys get those hats with the bills over the ears like that? The only ones I could find are the ones with the bills in the front.
No, it's the same. Just turn it sideways on your head.
Thanks.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Here's good news. There's still a need for hundreds of thousands of cybersecurity professionals in the U.S. right now. And My Computer Career is training people to help meet the demand. No IT experience? No problem. Take the free career evaluation today. Start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today, Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE.
Albert Goodwill Spaulding. With $800 borrowed from his mother, he opened a sporting goods business. Soon he was manufacturing all the baseballs used in the National League. He then began making bats and uniforms, managing to persuade club owners that each position should have its own distinctive garb. The result was chaos. The team looked like a Dutch bed of tulips, a Chicago sports writer said, and the experiment was quickly abandoned.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead at 7-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The number 6 hitter, Olivares comes to the plate, righty-righty matchup, and the first pitch is swung on and hit high and deep into center field, going back on the track off the wall. Hilliard will corral it. Olivares is flying around the bases, and he will slide into third with a leadoff triple. Olivares can flat out fly. He slid, but he didn't have to. That was essentially a triple from the get-go. Hilliard held up on that play to keep the ball from getting too far away from him. And when it shot out, it kind of kicked to the left of him. So a leadoff triple, and Massey's the batter, and the first pitch to Massey is a fastball off the plate for a ball. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Down below the knees. 2-0. The 2-0 swung on and hit high and fairly deep into left, making the sliding catch is Pilar. Pilar jumps up, fires the ball to home plate, and Veras is going to score easily. Pretty good throw and an effort towards the plate, but no real shot to get him. Had to make a sliding basket catch and slammed into the wall. When he jumped up, Olivares was already halfway home. So all in all, a pretty good defensive effort by Pilar, but a run does score, and there's one away. Leading 7-1, we'll take it. First pitch on the way to Reyes is a strike right there across the plate. It's 0-1. The 0-1 drifts inside for a ball. 1-1. Franmil Reyes. Swing and fouls it straight back. Down around the knees, it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. On the way, swung on and fouled out of play. We'll do it again at 1-2. One-two to Reyes. Charlie kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Curveball got him on the outer edge, and there's two away. Probably remember Franmil Reyes from the Cleveland Guardians. Played there for the last few years. Before that, he started out with the San Diego Padres back in 2018. So that'll bring the number 9 hitter, Nicky Lopez, to the plate. Lopez takes the first pitch off the plate for a ball, high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Lopez in his 5th year with the Kansas City Royals. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 1-1. Curveball down around the knees. The 1-1. Misses outside. It's 2-1. The 2-1 delivery from Charlie swung on, and that ball's lifted into left field, drifting back as Pilar. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. But not before Kansas City adds 1 to the scoreboard. The Braves lead it by 5. We head to the top of 5.
Armchair. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterback Sports Radio, #1 sports station.
Good afternoon, and this is your Armchair Quarterbacks Sports Flash. The San Francisco Giants have reached a 5-year, $90 million extension with right-handed pitcher Logan Webb. The extension will take him through the 2028 season. In 2022, Webb went 15-9 with a 2.9 ERA, 163 strikeouts, over 192 innings. Webb will make 8 this year, 12 in 25, 23 in 26, and 27, and $24 million in 28. The deal buys out 3 free agent years, as Webb had been scheduled to become a free agent after the 2025 season. Philadelphia Phillies' Bryce Harper is working out at first base in an attempt to speed his recovery from Tommy John. Harper, usually an outfielder, approached Phillies president Dave Dombrowski with the idea. Harper, a 2-time NL MVP, was operated on last November. Philadelphia projects him to return initially as a DH. Last week, Harper began taking on-field batting practice and said in March he could be back by the All-Star break. First baseman Rhys Hoskins will miss the entire season after tearing his ACL during a spring training game. Derek Hall, who started 5 of 6 games at first, had surgery Wednesday to repair a torn ligament in his right thumb and is projected to be sidelined for at least 2 more months. And that's your Armchair Quarterback Sports Flash. Stay tuned on youtube.com at Braves Country. Welcome back here to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch on the way to Sean Murphy is taken for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Murphy 1 for 2 with a 2-run double, takes a hack at the 0-1 pitch, and it's well off the plate out of the zone, 0-2. Murphy now batting .235. The 0-2 pitch off the plate, good eye by Murph. It's 1-2. Singer looks in, gets the sign from Perez. The 1-2 pitch swung on and hit high and deep into center field, going back. He'll take the grand tour. That's a solo shot with light tower power. Sean Murphy's second home run of the year, 436 feet, 108 miles an hour off the bat, and it's 8-2 for your Atlanta Braves. The sinker that just drifted back in, and Murphy did not miss it. Belt high on the outer edge. He gets the high fives in the dugout with the big hat, and the first pitch on the way to Rosario is called for an inside strike, and it's 0-1. Tampa Bay Rays are trying to break the modern day record as the 0-1 pitch misses off the plate wide. It's 1-1. Most wins to begin a season held by the Atlanta Braves of 82 and the Milwaukee Brewers of 1987. The 1-1 pitch swung on and hit high and deep into right field, going back on the track at the wall. Melendez will make the catch for a very loud out number 1. Before the Braves in 82 and the Brewers in 87, you have to go back to the 19th century, in the late 1880s, by the Maroons, who had a longer win streak. First pitch on the way to Ozzie is swung on and hit high and deep in the right center field, drifting over there, making the play as Melendez at the wall. He crashes into the wall, holds on to the ball, and there's 2 away. The last 2 pitches have gone far, just couldn't get out. So that'll bring Vaughn Grissom to the plate. Grissom is 1 for 2. First pitch on the way to Grissom is a strike on the outer edge. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch swung on and rifled down the right field line, but foul. It's 0-2. The 0-2 to Grissom. Swung on, and that ball is hit hard, but right at the first baseman. Pasquanino grabs it and steps on the bag, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves tack on one more run. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth, leading it 8-2.
Challenge accepted. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
Hey, Braves Country. Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball all year long. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. We'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch, inning-by-inning of your Atlanta Braves. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Please like and subscribe to youtube.com/@BravesCountry.
I might audible. How audible I'll use. Omaha! Red Polly! Blue poncho! Do it! Rambo! Give me Kershaw here, Kershaw!
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Top, Japan! Richmond, New York! Richmond, Florida! Sally, Buffalo! Check! Hey, Short Ox! Luda Raiders! Red Lion! Omaha! I'm out!
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge, so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
Darryl Strawberry has gone out to get some sunglasses, so the sun has poked through the clouds here at Wrigley, much to the delight of the fans.
There's a lot of daughters here, too.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The first pitch from Morton to Melendez, the leadoff hitter. Top of the order is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 from Morton just misses off the plate wide. Fastball, 94 miles an hour, 2-0. Melendez 1 for 2 with the double. The 2-0 pitch. Top shelf misses high, 3-0. MJ Melendez, just 24 years old from Daytona Beach, Florida. The 3-0 pitch, down below the knees, ball 4. And it's a 4-pitch walk to start the fifth. So 1 on, nobody out. That'll bring Bobby Witt Jr. to the plate. Witt digs in, the 63rd pitch of the night from Morton inside, and Murphy's going to come out and talk to Morton. 5 consecutive balls to start the inning. Bobby Witt Jr., 22 years old. From Colleyville, Texas. Son of former Major Leaguer Bobby Witt. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and grounded. Foul past the third base line. Riley will grab it and toss it into the stands for a souvenir. It's 1-1. One on, nobody out. The 1-1 from Charlie swung on, and that ball's hit towards short underneath the glove of Grissom, who was diving to make the play, but it'll be a single. Couldn't quite get there in time. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Grissom was playing a little closer and a little further in for double play territory. If he was in normal depth, he probably had to have a much better chance at that one. So that'll bring Pasquantino to the plate, and the first pitch to him is a strike at the knees. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back out of play, 95 miles an hour. It's 0-2. Charlie Morton sitting at 67 pitches. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball is hammered down the right field line, but foul. We'll do it again at 0-2. Vinny Pasquantino, 25 years old, from Richmond, Virginia. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and grounds it hard, but foul down the first base line. We'll do it again at 0-2. From Richmond, Virginia, and played his college ball right up the road in Old Dominion. The 0-2 pitch to Pasquantino, swung on, and that ball is lifted high and deep into center field. Underneath it is Hilliard. He'll make the catch and fire it back into the infield. Chase Melendez back to second. There's one away. So Braves lead it by 6. Salvador Perez comes to the plate, nicknamed El Nino. El Nino with 2 home runs on the year. One swat could cut this lead in half. So Charlie's got to be careful here. First pitch on the way inside, almost clips him. Perez has to dance out of the way. It's 1-0. Salvador Perez from Venezuela. The 1-0 pitch. Swing! It hits it down the line. Chasing it is Acuna, and that ball's going to get down. It's fair. A fair ball just in front of Acuna. Ronnie throws it in. The bases are loaded. The runners had to stay because it was such a long and high winding play. They weren't sure if Ronnie was going to get to it. It dropped right in front of Olsen, who was chasing it, and right past Olsen, right in front of Acuna. Good reflexes by Acuna kept the ball from kicking away. But the bases are loaded, and pitch is inside, and that ball's going to hit Isbell. So it's 8-3. Charlie's up to his old tricks. If you remember last year, he very known to hit the left-handed batter with the curveball. He did it again. Isbell didn't do too much to get out of the way there. If you're going to get hit by one, you want to get hit by that curveball. So the score is now 8-3. Bases are loaded, so one swing would cut this to a 1-run lead. And coming to the plate is Edward Olivares. Olivares batting .281. He had a triple in the 4th inning. He can fly, so he's going to be hard to double up. First pitch on the way to Olivares is a curveball off the plate wide. It's 1-0. Edward Olivares from Venezuela as well. He is 27 years old. The 1-0 pitch. Down off the plate wide, 2-0. Curveball is missing for Charlie. The 2-0 pitch, right there for a strike. Good curveball by Charlie. It's 2-1. Miami Heat are going to hold on to beat the Chicago Bulls, so they'll get the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. The 2-1 from Charlie. Swung on and grounded over to third. Riley steps on it. He's going to fire it over to first, and he'll get the double play to get us out of the inning. So a quick grounder where Riley was standing right there at the pillow. Bang, bang, 5-3 double play, and we'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Max, a woman in my section wants to know if we do anything gluten-free. What do I tell her? Tell her she's not allergic to gluten. She's just masking an eating disorder.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
One out, nobody on. 2-2 count to Pete Rose. We've just started a wet day in Baltimore. There's a fly ball down the right field line. Tough chance. It's in for a base hit. Rose is coming for two. It gets away from Robinson. Rose hit the dirt. And had he rounded the bag, he might have gone for three. He thought it would be a play on him at second.
Cincinnati's Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, and this is the way Rose plays the game. Just 150% each and every time, whether the ball is there or not.
This helpful instructional message from the National Association of People Who Have Trouble Walking and Chewing Gum at the same time. Step, chew. Step, chew. Step, chew. Step, chew.
Walt Whitman. Brooklyn Eagle, 1846. In our sundown perambulations of late, through the outer parts of Brooklyn, we have observed several parties of youngsters playing base, a certain game of ball. Let us go forth a while and get better air in our lungs. Let us leave our close rooms. The game of ball is glorious.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. There's a pitching change for the Kansas City Royals. Jose Cuis is going to come in. And Cuis, from the right-hand side of the mound, will face Pilar, and the first pitch is whistled in there, 93 miles an hour, right in his kitchen. Check swing foul. It's 0-1. Cuis has a 4.26 ERA on the young season in 6 innings pitched. The 0-1 pitch swung on and grounded hard, foul down the third base line. It's 0-2. Jose's from the Dominican Republic, excuse me. Played his college ball at Maryland. He was drafted by the Brewers in 2015. The 0-2 pitch swung on and hit down the right field line. Bending, making the leaping catch is Melendez. Nice defensive play by MJ Melendez. He caught the ball in foul territory, but had to slam into the wall to make the catch, and there's one away. Just before ran out of real estate, about 10 to 15 feet from the home run pole. So that'll bring Hilliard to the plate. Sam Hilliard's 1 for 2 with a home run. The first pitch is swung on and missed off the zone inside. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Sam is inside, ball one, evens up the count at 1-1. Sam Hilliard, 29 years old, from Mansfield, Texas, played his college ball at Wichita State. The 1-1 off the plate out of the zone. It's 2-1. He was drafted in 15 by the Rockies, who the Braves got him from this offseason. The 2-1 pitch off the plate. He's going to call that a wide strike. It was definitely out of the zone. It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and fouls it down the line. We'll do it again at 2-2. Does appear that it will be Bryce Elder tomorrow, not Max Fried. Max Fried, they're hoping, can pitch either Monday or Tuesday. The 2-2 on the way. Off the plate wide. Full count to Sam. Standing on deck, Ronald Acuna Jr. The 3-2 swung on and corkscrewed foul towards third base. Ron Washington made the play. He'll flip it into the dugout. The 3-2 pitch to Hilliard. On the way down below the knees, ball 4, and it's a 1-out walk to Sam Hilliard. So 1 on, 1 out. Ronald Acuna Jr. coming to the plate. 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs. The first pitch is a fastball strike at the top of the zone. 0-1. Acuna now batting .386 with a 1,005 OPS. Ronald asks for time, does not give it, and the ball is right down the pipe. It's 0-2. Now Acuna gets time from home plate umpire Quinn Walcott. The 0-2 to Acuna. On the way, swung on, and that ball is belted high and deep. It's going back. Oh, downtown Kansas City. Duck. It's a 2-run bomb from Ronald Acuna Jr. He hit that into the night, past the waterfalls, and it's 10-3 your Atlanta Braves. That pitch was picture perfect for Acuna. Just above the knees on the inner cut, and he timed it perfectly. Out there near the waterfalls, it actually crawled up the stairs. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is swung on and miss. 0-1. Braves 10. Kansas City 3. The 0-1. Top of the zone. Taken all the way by Matty, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch to Olson. Swing and fouls it off the plate. We'll do it again. It's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch off the plate. Good eye by Olson. It's 1-2. Braves 10. Kansas City 3. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. For out number 2. It's about time to turn back time here on Braves Country Baseball. Austin Riley comes to the plate. The first pitch to Riley is taken for a strike right there at the knees, and it's 0-1. On this date, 1910, in Washington, D.C., as the 0-1 pitch is off the plate down below the knees, it's 1-1. William Taft becomes the first president to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. President Taft stays to see a great game as the 1-1 pitch misses off the plate wide. It's 2-1. Washington Senator pitcher Walter Johnson, one hits the Philadelphia A's in the season opener 3-0. The 2-1 pitch right there at the knees. Nasty sinker, and it's 2-2. On this date, 1931, at Braves Field in Boston, Jack Quinn, as the 2-2 pitch to Riley, swung on and grounded foul. Do it again at 2-2. Jack Quinn becomes the oldest pitcher to start an opening day game. The 47-year-old right-hander gives up 6 runs on 9 hits in 6 innings, taking the loss when Brooklyn beats Boston 7-4. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Braves tack on a couple more runs. Uncle Charlie's going back to the hill. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Make sure when your shift is over, you go home alive.
Look at that. The Hendersons are getting a new fence.
Ah, who cares? They're swingers.
I want a new fence.
Need a home loan fast? At the American Bank of Los Santos, we'll help you get the debt you need to make life easier. We'll show you how to look richer and be poorer. You need to impress people fast. Not in 20 years. It's only a risk if you get into money troubles or the economy changes. Call American Bank of Los Santos. Now that the kids have moved out and have drug problems of their own, maybe it's time to install a luxury marble wet bar. American Bank of Los Santos. Why worry about tomorrow if you look inadequate today?
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Lose some weight.
Oh, come on, Quigley. Well, you don't give me that.
Look at me. 92. And I still enjoy swimming and golfing and biking, all sports.
Whoopee.
That too.
Come on, after all at your age, must be down to a handshake, huh?
Yep, before and after.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Charlie Morton back out there on the hill. 78 pitches into the night, and he'll face the bottom of the order. The first pitch to the number 7 hitter, Massey, is off the plate wide for a ball, evening up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, curveball down below the knees, and it's 1-2. Good pitch by Charlie. Just pulled the string on that one. Warming up in the Atlanta bullpen is Dylan Lee. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And there's one away. Sure, Charlie wants to make sure he gets through here on the 6th inning. I'm sure the Braves would love to see him get to the 6th and beyond. Charlie Morton has struck out 4, walked 2, given up 2 runs, 2 earned runs. First pitch on the way to Reyes. The 4-seam fastball. On the outer edge, it's 0-1. Charlie working quickly. The 0-1 pitch, flips it in and swung on and hit high and deep into center field, going back on the track at the wall. Making the catch is Hilliard for a loud out number 2. So Charlie Morton, 1 out away from a quality start, be his first one of the year. He'll face the number 9 hitter, Lopez. Charlie is sitting at 83 pitches. It would be interesting if he got out of this inning quickly, if they might send him back out there for the 7th. First pitch on the way to Lopez is off the plate wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0 from Morton is right there at the knees. Called for a ball. Looked like it was over the plate and in the zone, but it's 2-0. The 2-0 from Morton. Right there at the knee, same spot. This time he got the call. It's 2-1. He's gone curveball, changeup, fastball to start the at-bat. The 2-1. Strike 2. Curveball belt high. And it's 2-2. Charlie Morton. A 2-2 count to Lopez. The inside almost gets him with that curveball again. And it's a full count to the number 9 hitter. Standing on deck, the leadoff hitter, Melendez. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Fastball drifted off the plate, and he chased it. So 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the 7th inning. Murphy coming to the plate.
You don't like Drake? How could you not like Drake?
Who's Drake?
Who's Drake? Drake is good.
I told you the Drake was bad. I hate the Drake.
You just robbed a house. You have all this great stuff that now belongs to you, but you got this annoying pang of guilt nagging at you. Well, worry no more, because your friends at Cell Block Greeting Cards have the answer for you. Introducing our new line of petty crime thank you cards. Before you smash and grab one of our cards and leave it behind on your next heist. Choose from any of these fine Hawkbell cards like
thank you for the plasma TV,
or
thanks for the PlayStation, alcohol, and penny jar,
and
don't use your toothbrush,
for limited time, introducing
I'm still in the house,
and many more sentimental petty crime thank you cards.
Available at any back alley, shadowy parking lot, or
Armchair.
Now I want to ask you about, wouldn't you rather have this name spelled G-O-O-S-H, the phonetic spelling, rather than all the S's, W's, and Z's?
Gives him some character, though.
G-W-O-S-D-Z is the spelling, but it's pronounced Goosh.
Well, his nickname is iChart, and you can understand that. It's about 72 points on the Scrabble board.
Well, then he ought to make a great umpire when he retires as a player. It's a bit low. Goosh, he's been around. I remember that name with other teams. He's been with Walla Walla, Reno, Amarillo, Hawaii, and San Diego. That even's a count of ball and a strike.
Did you go to many games in Walla Walla?
I like the name of it. It's one of my favorite towns. Do you know what Walla Walla spelled backwards sounds like? Allah, Allah. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I learn something every day working with you.
How'd we get started on this silly stuff?
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. YouTube.com/@Braves Country.
Braves win! Braves win! Braves win!
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead at 10-3. Josh Stallman's now going to come into the game for the Kansas City Royals. He at one point was their heir apparent as the closer, hard-throwing right-hander. First pitch on the way is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball off the plate wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Down below the knees, 1-1. The 2-0 from Stelmont. Swing and pops it up, but out of play. Back behind the seats, behind home plate, it's 2-1. Two-one pitch, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, outer edge, fouled back. It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Slider misses high. Full count to Sean Murphy. Three-two pitch to Murphy, swung on and fouled it straight back out in front of that pitch. So a full count to Sean Murphy, righty-righty matchup. Standing on deck is Rosario. Here's the windup and pitch. Swung on. That ball is ripped down the left field line, but foul. Well into the seats. Upper deck. Just couldn't keep it straight. Do it again at 3-2. The 3-2 to Murphy. Swung on and fouled straight back. We'll do it again at 3-2. Seventh inning, so time to hit the birthdays. We have a plethora of birthdays in Braves country tonight. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. He chased ball four in the dirt. There's one away. Happy 57th birthday to both Greg Maddux and David Justice of your Atlanta Braves. Both on the 95 championship team. Greg Maddux, 355 wins, a 106 WAR with a 3.16 ERA. David Justice, 305 home runs with a 40.6 WAR. First pitch on the way to Rosario, swung on and fouled down the line. It's 0-1. Happy 53rd birthday to Steve Avery. Played for the Atlanta Braves. 96 wins in his career. Is the 0-1 pitch is swung on and popped up. That is a major league pop-up. Can of corn behind shortstop. Witt drifts back and makes the catch. There's two away. That'll bring up Ozzie Albies. And also, do you remember Kyle Farnsworth played for Atlanta Braves in 2005 and the Royals in 2009. He turns 47 today with 59 career saves. First pitch on the way to Ozzie's out of the zone. It's 1-0. Happy 82nd birthday to one Pete Rose, the hit king. 79.6 WAR. 4,256 hits lifetime with Cincinnati, Philly, and the Expos. The 1-0 pitch off the plate wide. It's 2-0. In the National Football League, Baker Mayfield turns 28, DJ Moore 26, and Chase Young 24. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and fouls it straight back. It's 2-1. Happy 46th birthday to Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Brad Garrett from Everyone Loves Raymond. He turns 63. And Anthony Michael Hall of The Breakfast Club turns 55. And that's your birthdays. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit high and deep. Going back. Up against the wall and making the catch. A loud out number 3 in the deepest part of the ballpark. Get up and stretch, y'all. It's the 7th inning.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Casey was baseball mad, had the fever and had it bad. Just to root for the hometown crew every stew. Casey Blue. On a Saturday, her young beau called to see if she'd like to go to see a show. But Miss Kate said no. I'll tell you what you can do.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around and be home again.
Casey saw all the games, knew the players by their first name, told the umpire he was wrong all along, good and strong. When the score was just 2-2, Casey knew what to do. Just to cheer up the boys he knew, he made the gang sing this song.
Me out to the ball game. Come on. Me out with the crowd. I don't care if I never get back. Root for the home. Don't win the game.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead it 10-3, and Charlie Morton's going to come out of the game for Dylan Lee, the big left-hander. Steps in to face Melendez, and the first pitch is a fastball right there at the edge, called for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. Lee kicks and deals, and it's in the dirt. 1-1. Dylan Lee, drafted by the Miami Marlins in 2016, played his college ball at Fresno State. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. It's 1-2. The 1-2 from Lee. He kicks and deals. That ball is swung on and belted down the right field line. Just foul. He absolutely crushed that pitch. But it's just a loud strike. We'll do it again at 1-2. The 1-2. Murphy sets up on the outside. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Went fishing off the plate. It's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Braves 10, Royals 3. Bottom of the 7th inning. The first pitch on the way is a swing and a miss for Bobby Witt Jr., who is 3 for 3. It's 0-1. Witt now batting .275 with a .759 OPS. The 0-1 pitch swung on that ball is hammered down the left field line, but it'll be fouled by about 10 feet up against the wall. It's 0-2. Standing on deck, Pascantino, the first baseman. The 0-2 to Witt, swung on and fouled straight back. Do it again at 0-2. 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, both by Grissom. You can make a strong argument that it should have been 3 errors. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors by the Kansas City Royals. Braves lead at 10-3. The 0-2 pitch right there at the, come on, you got to give me that strike. Calls it inside off the plate. It's 1-2. Dylan Lee put a seed right there on the inner black, and home plate umpire Walcott was not giving it to him. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled down the line. Slider just below the knees. We'll do it again. These two same teams back at it tomorrow night. The 1-2 pitch swung on that ball is hit right at Grissom. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 away. Tomorrow afternoon, I should say. Braves versus Royals, 4 o'clock Eastern time. We'll bring the game to you. 4:10 first pitch. Pre-game show will come on about 3:45. First pitch on the way to Pasquantino is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Vinny Pasquantino, 279, 2 home runs, lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the windup in the pitch, and he hammered that ball, but plenty foul near the tarps down the right field line. We'll do it again at 0-2. Orioles lead the White Sox 6-3. That game is in the 9th. The 0-2 pitch down below the knees. Good take. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch on the way from Lee, swung on, and that ball is hit high but not very deep, right at Hilliard in center. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So we'll head to the 8th inning. Braves lead at 10-3. Grissom coming to the plate.
It all starts with just one thing. When recycling, rinse out jars and cans, and avoid recycling wax paper or paper soiled with food. This will reduce recycling contamination. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
Slide here is your X. But if that's the call, Mike, Will, and Sam all have to know they're shifting. Open palms to post, thumbs up's a crosser, thumbs downs and out. Trevor, why don't you get up here and draw that for us?
Playing in the NFL is hard, but playing
Armchair.
fantasy football is easy.
Fantasy football time. It's fantasy football time.
You go 14 times and only win 1 time. It leaves a little sting. But I've said this. I know it's going to sound weird, but I've said this. If I had to go back to the future and know what the results were going to be and trade with the Marlins, who won twice and only went twice, I wouldn't do it. At the 14 times, still thinking that maybe fate might change. Going 14 years in a row is pretty incredible.
Armchair.
It is played everywhere, in parks and playgrounds and prison yards, in back alleys and farmers' fields, by small boys and old men, raw amateurs and millionaire professionals. It is a leisurely game that demands blinding speed, the only game in which the defense has the ball. It follows the seasons, beginning each year with the fond expectancy of springtime and ending with the hard facts of autumn. Americans have played baseball for more than 200 years. While they conquered a continent, warred with one another and with enemies abroad, struggled over labor and civil rights and the meaning of freedom.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball. YouTube.com/@Braves Country.
Braves win! Braves win! Braves win!
Welcome back here to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead at 10-3. Vaughn Grissom coming to the plate. Grissom has had a tough night in the field, but pretty good at the plate. The first pitch is swung on and hit high and deep into right field. Melendez is underneath it for an easy out. There's one away. Amir Garrett comes into the game for the Kansas City Royals. Remember him from the Cincinnati Reds. Amir Garrett was the guy that tried to fight the entire Pittsburgh Pirate bench many moons ago. First pitch on the way to Kevin Pillar is down below the knees for a ball. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Took something off of that out in front. 1-1. You also notice if you look at the Kansas City Royals roster, one Aroldis Chapman is in the Kansas City bullpen. The 1-1 pitch Swing and a miss over the top by Pilar. It's 1-2. Pilar batting now 154 on the season. Digs in and the 1-2 pitch swung. Whoa, lost the bat. That bat took off and slapped up against the screen near the dugout. And it's a strikeout of the highest order. He didn't just strike out, he lost his bat as well. Quick scoreboard on the out-of-town scoreboard here on Braves Country Baseball. Mets and A's have gotten started. It's 0-0 in the second. Phillies did hold on and beat the Reds 8-3. It's the first pitch on the way to Sam Hilliard is a nasty pitch for a strike on the knees. It's 0-1. Giants 4, Tigers 4. That game has gone to the 10th. Giants were trailing that game 4-1 in the 8th. Orioles hold on and win. Beat the White Sox 6-3. Home plate umpire Quinn Wilcott is coming out there to talk to Garrett. It's almost as if he was feeling the ball, seeing if he was putting something on there. Really strange exchange by Quinn Wilcott. Rest of the scoreboard, Brewers lead the Padres 5-0 in the second. Cubs 0-0 with the Dodgers in the first. Rockies and Mariners are scoreless. The 2-1 pitch off the plate wide, 3-1. Marlins beat the Diamondbacks 5-1. Guardians 4-3 over the Nationals. Twins came back and beat the Yankees 4-3 as the 3-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 4, and Hilliard will go grab first. That'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Blue Jays beat the Tampa Bay Rays, ending their 13-0 start. Tampa Bay Rays lose the first game of the season, now 13-1. Red Sox 5-3 of the Angels. And that's your scoreboard. First pitch on the way to Acuna is right there for a strike, taken all the way, 0-1. The 0-1 to Ronnie, swing and fouls it off the plate. It's quickly 0-2. Tomorrow it looks like it's going to be Bryce Elder on the mound for the Atlanta Braves. We'll bring that to you. First pitch 4:10. Should be a good one. The 0-2 pitch down below the knees, 1-2. Braves will face Chris Bubeck. Bubeck, pretty good beginning to the year. He's 0-1, but he's got a 1.64 ERA and a .91 whip. The 1-2 pitch right there at the knees, caught looking for out number 3. Ronnie doesn't like it, but it looked like it was right there on the plate. We'll be back in a flash, bottom of the 8th, middle of the order for the Royals. ACC football covered like no other here on Braves Country HD.
Reggie Gillespie dives into the end zone. The winning points for North Carolina State. And the teams come together in the end zone, pushing, shoving between the back and the heels as Gillespie has scored the winning points. His 5th rushing TD, but these teams need to be separated. The emotion boils over on the last play of the game as Gillespie goes to the end zone. And it's a sea of Carolina blue and State red.
And Carruthers gets into it, and they've doused him, and now we've got a big brawl out on the field, marring would have been the 200th victories for Bobby Bowden. Look at this. That's an ugly mess down there. This is ugly. Starting to get it cleared up down there, although there's still some bodies flying around.
ACC football, backyard brawls all year long on Braves Country HD.
I'm up. Biggest pick of the draft. 5th pick, 6th round. TJ Hoshimazode. Yes, lock it up. Who? What? TJ, how's the vanilla? All right. TJ TJ, who's your mama?
Fantasy Rule 17. Know how to pronounce your draft picks.
You mean TJ Houshmandzadeh from the Bengals?
Put him on the board. Housham Mazzoli. Got it. Championship.
Fantasy football time.
Fans are on their feet, rooting for Jack Morris. And he takes a little walk, and you can understand it. He doesn't want to do anything in a hurry. A pitch away from a no-hitter. One pitch. He had a 2-2 to Lazinski, and then walked him. And he is 1-2 to Kittle. Got him swinging, and he has his no-hitter.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball, Friday Night Baseball here on Braves Country. We're here every Tuesday night, every Friday night. We bring you 2 bonus games each week. The first pitch on the way from Jimenez, who is new to the game, is swung on and popped up into right field. Underneath it is Acuna, and there's one away. Joe Jimenez, 4 innings this year, the 4.5 ERA, gave up that home run the other night that almost cost the Braves until the walk-off job by Murphy. The big right-hander kicks and deals. The first pitch to Isbell, who's 0 for 2. The hit by pitch, it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. On the way, swung on. That ball is hammered down the right field line. It's going to get in the corner and rattle around. That'll be a 1-out double for the center fielder, Isbell. New York Mets are pounding the A's 6-0, and that game just got going. It's in the second inning, so not anything that we are shocked by. Caprillion showing his updated ERA is 14.73. So that'll bring Olivares up to the plate. Olivares takes the first pitch for a strike high. It's 0-1. Oh-1 pitch from Jimenez to Olivares. Righty-righty matchup. Swing and a half-hearted miss. Fastball on the outer edge. It's 0-2. Jimenez has good stuff. He's just been catching too much of the plate early in the season, but 95 mile an hour just dotted the right side of the plate. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Do it again at 0-2. Tomorrow afternoon, 4:10 first pitch, Braves Country Baseball, Braves and Royals. Then we'll be here Tuesday night, 9:40 first pitch as we take on the San Diego Padres. The 0-2 pitch. Down below the knees, it's 1-2. Wednesday afternoon, we'll complete that series with the Padres. The 1-2 pitch off the plate, out of the zone. Good block by Murphy. A backhanded stab, and it's 2-2. Next Friday night, Braves are at home against the Houston Astros, and we'll have the call. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and fouls it back. We'll do it again at 2-2. And a week from Saturday, it is a night game versus the Astros. We'll bring that to you. 7:15, I believe, is the first pitch in that one. The 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Like the changeup, he might have gotten a piece of it. Home plate umpire says it was a foul tip. Nonetheless, it is a strikeout. And that'll bring Massey to the plate. Massey, 0 for 2. First pitch, fastball, top shelf, blew it right by him, right in his kitchen, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball 96 mile an hour on the inner cut, and it's quickly 0-2. Jimenez trying to get out of this mess. The Giants and Tigers have gone to extra innings. It's in the 11th. San Fran leads 5-4 in the top. The 0-2 pitch, just below the knees. Jimenez wanted that call, 95 mile an hour fastball. Looks like it was very close, but home plate umpire Walcott says that it was just low. It might have just missed. It's 1-2. The 1-2 from Jimenez, swing, and fouls it straight back. We'll do it again at 1-2. Jimenez shakes off the pitch from Murphy. 1-2, 2 away, runner on second. Braves lead at 10-3. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouls it straight back. Do it again at 1-2. Joe Jimenez now 15 pitches in the inning. The 1-2 pitch swung on and popped up. Drifting over into foul territory is Riley. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. We'll head to the ninth and try to put this one away. The heart of the order, Olson, Riley, and Murphy coming to the plate.
Hey, can I tell you one thing? That's 3 holding fielders on one football team and a quarter and a half. That ain't funny.
Braves Country HD covers the whole SEC the whole season long.
Dobbs heaves it. They're bunched up in the end zone. It's tipped up. It's caught. It is caught. Jawan Jennings.
Just the start of things. First quarter at the Geetha Bowl in Jacksonville. And Walker digs to the right. Gets outside. The 35. Look out. He's past midfield and he's got a blocker. Cuts to the inside. Herschel Walker. There he goes again.
Straight up the middle. Touchdown. Delayed reaction, but Tebow got in. Oh, jump pass. How about that? Oh, my gosh. That looks like 1955. Holy cow. Are you kidding me?
Armchair.
SEC!
Hey, Braves fans. I'm Mac Magee with Braves Country. We'll be right here on the key all year long, giving you Braves Country baseball, pitch by pitch, inning by inning of your Atlanta Braves. Make sure to catch Braves Country right here on the key. We go live 3 to 5. And we'll keep you up to date on the upcoming schedule for Braves Country. That's Braves Country HD and Braves Country baseball right here on the key.
I tell people this all the time. You might think I'm crazy when I tell you this, but the easiest place to hit today is the big leagues. It is, and I'll tell you why. You make the big leagues. The lights are better. The umpires are better. Pitching control is better. And maybe most importantly, you're facing the same guys year after year after year. They don't get better. They don't change their philosophy.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves lead at 10-3. Been a hit parade so far for the Atlanta Braves. One of the men of the hour, Matt Olson, hit another home run tonight. Is coming to the plate. Got a new pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, Carlos Hernandez. Hernandez, a 1.93 ERA so far in 4 innings pitched this year. First pitch from Hernandez is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Hernandez flips one in there and a swing and a miss on the outer edge. 1-1. Carlos Hernandez, 26 years old. From Venezuela, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up high in the sky, but underneath it is the center fielder, Isbell, for out number 1. Hernandez from Venezuela debuted in 2020, September of 2020. Has a career 5.03 ERA, but off to a good start this year. First pitch on the way to Riley's a 99-mile-an-hour fastball off the edge. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swung on and grounded hard over to third. Scooping it and flipping it over to first is Lopez. It's a 5-3 put out, and there's 2 away. So that'll bring Sean Murphy to the plate. Royal City Connect jerseys. They're not half bad. I've seen a few that have just been atrocious. The royal blue and the light blue lettering with the KC. Pretty basic, pretty sharp. As the pitch fades inside, almost gets Murphy. 1-1. I think I saw before where the lines as the K and C are running down, it's supposed to represent the waterfalls, which is a pretty cool touch. The 1-1 pitch, outer edge for a strike. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, down below the knees, taken for a ball. It's 2-2. Braves 10, Royals 3. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Full count to Sean Murphy. Charlie Morton will be your pitcher of record tonight. If this lead holds up, the 3-2 pitch off the plate wide, ball 4, and Murphy will head down to first with 2 away. Charlie Morton went 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, 3 altogether, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Dylan Lee pitched a clean inning, 1 strikeout. Joe Jimenez gave up 1 double, but then got out of that jam, and he had a strikeout. So all in all, 8 innings pitched so far with 7 strikeouts for the Braves, 2 walks. First pitch to Rosario is a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch swung on and lifted into right field, but right at Melendez. That'll end the inning. So the Braves are 3 outs away from getting the first win here in Kansas City. We'll be back in a flash.
God would never let me be successful. He'll kill me first. He'll never let me be happy.
I thought you didn't believe in God.
I do for the bad things.
And I don't give a damn who you are, how much money you got. You're going to make 7 out of 10 outs and go to the Hall of Fame. What others is it? LeBron James shoots 3 out of 10? Are we buying that 26? If Tom Brady can place 3 out of 10, are we buying that 12? No. So just accept the fact. I made 10,000 outs. I did Reggie Jackson's radio show about an hour ago. I made more outs than he got at bats. And he was the first to tell me that, by the way. Smart ass. He told me it was Mr. October. I said, hey, Reggie, listen, I was Mr. April, May, June, July, and August, and September. You were Mr. October.
Hey, Braves fans, I'm Mac Magee with Braves Country. We'll be right here on the key all year long, giving you Braves Country baseball, pitch by pitch, inning by inning of your Atlanta Braves. Make sure to catch Braves Country right here on the key. We go live 3 to 5, and we'll keep you up to date on the upcoming schedule for Braves Country. That's Braves Country HD and Braves Country baseball right here on the key.
1-1 pitch. A long drive to right. Ramirez turns to the track. She's gone. Dave Justice, all is forgiven in Atlanta. Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field.
Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@Braves Country. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead at 10-3, and Danny Young's going to get some work as he comes into the game. Try to get the last 3 outs here against the Kansas City Royals. Danny Young, the left-hander, steps up to the mound. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup versus Reyes, former Cleveland designated hitter. The first pitch is a swing and a miss slider. Well out in front. It's 0-1. The 0-1 from Young. See, flips and deals, and inside, taken for a ball. It's 1-1. Danny Young from Boynton Beach, Florida, 28 years old. Played his college ball at the University of Florida. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2, it's 1-2. Drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays in the 8th round in 2015. Made his debut last year. The 1-2 pitch off the plate, it's 2-2. Last year played for Seattle and played for the Atlanta Braves. Played just 1 game and 2 innings with the Atlanta Braves. The 2-2 pitch right there at the knees. Caught him looking for out number 1 here in the 9th inning. Good pitch by Young. If you haven't seen Young pitch before, he's got kind of a herky-jerky motion from the left side, almost Chris Sale-like. Not quite that exaggerated, but very close. So that'll bring up the right-handed bat of Duffy, the pinch hitter. Duffy, Matt Duffy, 32 years old. The 0-1 pitch off the plate wide. It's 1-1. You may remember Matt Duffy played for the San Francisco Giants, tail end of their championship runs. Also played for the Rays, Cubs, and Angels. The 1-1 pitch swung on and popped up high in the sky, and making the catch is Sam Hilliard in left center. There's 2 away. Braves 1 out away from the Game 1 win of this series. If you're scoring at home, Duffy came in for Lopez. So that'll bring the top of the order back up. Melendez, 1 for 3. Lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch on the way from Young. It flips and deals, and right there on the intercut for a strike. It's 0-1. Looks like the Detroit Tigers just hit a 3-run walk-off home run to beat the Giants. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Flipped in another slider right there at the knees. The 0-2 on the way. Swung on and grounded foul just before the first base bag. We'll do it again at 0-2. It's a slider, sinker to start the at-bat off. The 0-2 from Young. His 12th pitch of the inning. Here's the windup in the pitch. And down below the knees. It's 1-2. 1-2 on the way, and swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So Danny Young comes in, gives a clean inning, and your Atlanta Braves moved to 10-4 on the year. A night that saw the Phillies win. The Mets look like they're on their way to a win. as did the Marlins. So we'll keep pace with everybody and keep that 2-game lead in the NL East. We will be back tomorrow, 4:10 first pitch, Braves Royals, Bryce Elder on the mound. Have a great night, Braves country. Braves win, Braves win, Braves win 10-3.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening to Braves Country Baseball. With Mac Magee, we're proud to bring you year number 3. Braves Country Baseball comes your way Tuesdays and Friday nights and 2 more bonus games for a total of 4 games a week. You can also catch Braves Country, our daily sports talk show. We go live 3 to 5, 99.1 FM WQEE, Metro Atlanta. Other CBS, ESPN, and independent affiliates nationwide, and simulcast on youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Find Braves Country HD today wherever you stream. Your first choice for Southern sports and the deepest bench in sports talk.
Something of the 5th of September. Something of the 5th of September. She said a lot that I can't remember. Something of the 5th. Can I get another cigarette, please? Can I get another cigarette, please? Yeah, I know I live to regret it. Just give me another cigarette, please. Can I get another cigarette, please?
You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key in Noonan, Georgia, home of Braves Country with Mac Magee and the Armchair Quarterbacks, weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on The Key and youtube.com/Braves Country.
It's the best in sports and entertainment, and get locked in and locked down with Rhino Radio Penitentiary, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. with your host, me, Ryan O'Neill, each and every morning, right here with the best in sports and entertainment, all the way from professional sports to college sports to River Dragons hockey and everything in between, including some of the very best local and national guests. It's the Rhino Radio Penitentiary, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, right here on 99.1 FM WQEE.
Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for La Jolla, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mac. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, closed to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of two X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Nash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Hey Braves fans, I'm Mac Magee with Braves Country. We'll be right here on the key all year long giving you Braves Country baseball, pitch by pitch, inning by inning of your Atlanta Braves. Make sure to catch Braves Country right here on the key. We go live 3 to 5, and we'll keep you up to date on the upcoming schedule for Braves Country. That's Braves Country HD and Braves Country Baseball right here on the key. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.